Hello, everyone. Anastasia here with Irene for day 4 of our 50-day software architecture class. In day 3, we compared monolithic and layered architectural styles. Today, we're shifting to creational design patterns, specifically Singleton and Factory. We'll explain how they work, show code examples, and discuss real-world applications to make them practical.
Patterns in action, Anastasia. Can't wait to code it out.
Overview for day 4. Creational patterns deal with flexible and efficient object creation. We'll cover Singleton for ensuring a single instance and Factory for abstracting how objects are created. These tie directly to day 2's solid principles, like dependency inversion. Expect code snippets and discussions on when to use them. If you like the video, subscribe and support us on Buy Me a Coffee. buymeacoffee.com/DailyAIWizard.
Hands-on and relevant. Perfect for builders.
Why study creational patterns? They address recurring issues in how objects are created, making your code more flexible and reusable. They align with day 2's modularity and solid, reducing tight coupling. This sets up for structural patterns on day 5 and behavioral on day 6.
Foundational for clean, scalable designs.
Let's introduce the Singleton pattern. It ensures a class has only one instance and provides global access to it, ideal for controlling shared resources like configurations. It uses a private constructor and a static method to get the instance. We must make it thread-safe for multi-threaded apps.
One and only. Prevents duplicates efficiently.
Here's Singleton in code. In Python, class Singleton with instance bot none. In new, check if not instance, create it, else return existing. Example, create S1 and S2. Both point to the same instance as S1, chop, S2 is true.
Simple yet powerful. Demo time.
Pros of Singleton. Provides global access and saves memory by avoiding multiples. Cons, it can lead to global state problems, making code harder to reason about. Testing is tricky since mocking is tough. Use it sparingly, not as a default.
Balance is key. Don't overuse.
Real-world examples. Use Singleton for a database connection pool manager to avoid multiple connections. In logging systems, a single logger instance ensures consistent output. For configuration, a global settings object. Also, for app-wide caching.
Practical in resource-heavy scenarios.
Best practices. Implement lazy initialization to create the instance only when needed. Ensure thread safety with locks or eager creation. In distributed systems, avoid Singleton. Use other patterns. Combine with Factory for more flexibility in creation.
Safe and efficient tips.
Pitfalls. It creates hidden dependencies, hurting modularity from day 2. Unit testing suffers from persistent state. Overuse turns it into an anti-pattern. In concurrent apps without care, it causes scalability issues.
Awareness prevents misuse.
Variations. Eager initialization creates the instance at class loading. BuildPew uses an inner static class for lazy loading. In Java, enum-based Singleton is simple and thread-safe. Choose the variation based on your language and requirements.
Adapt to your context. Welcome, developers. Today, we're diving into the Singleton design pattern, fundamental in software architecture. The Singleton pattern ensures that a class has only one instance and provides global access to it, preventing multiple object creations. Its primary benefits include controlled access to sole instance, crucial for managing shared resources like database connections or settings efficiently. However, Singletons can introduce global state, making code harder to test and leading to tight coupling within your application. To mitigate drawbacks, consider lazy initialization and thread safety. Lazy initialization means creating the instance only when first needed, optimizing resources. While thread safety prevents issues in multi-threaded environments, always evaluate if a singleton is necessary, as overuse can lead to less flexible and maintainable code. Now, the factory pattern. It abstracts the object creation, letting you return instances without exposing the instantiation logic. Types include simple factory, factory method, and abstract factory. It supports the open-closed principle from day 2's solid by allowing extensions without modifications.
Hides complexity beautifully.
Simple factory in code. Class shape factory with get shape method. Based on shape type, return circle or square. This centralizes creation logic.
Easy to extend shapes.
Factory method. Defines an interface for creation, but subclasses decide the exact class. This promotes loose coupling from day 2. Example. In a document app, subclasses create PDF or Word documents.
Subclass power.
Abstract factory. An interface for creating families of related objects without specifying concretes. Great for UI themes or cross-platform components. Ensures the products are compatible.
Families in harmony.
Pros. Encapsulates creation logic and makes extension easy per OCP. Cons. Introduces more classes, adding complexity. The class hierarchy can grow large. Use when object creation is complex or varies.
Worth the trade-off often.
Real world. GUI libraries use Factory for OS-specific buttons, database connectors via Factory for different drivers like MySQL or PostgreSQL, payment systems with gateways for Stripe or PayPal. In games, spawners for enemy types.
Everyday in apps.
Best practices. Define interfaces for factories to allow polymorphism. Combine with dependency injection from DIP. Keep each factory focused on one responsibility per SRP. Test them independently by mocking creations.
Solid integration shines.
Pitfalls. Over-abstraction with too many factories for simple cases. Runtime errors from misconfigurations. Slight performance overhead from indirection. Don't misuse as a service locator. Keep it for creation.
Keep it purposeful.
The factory method pattern, a creational design pattern, provides a superclass interface for object creation, letting subclasses decide the object types created. It promotes loose coupling, decoupling client code from concrete classes it instantiates for more flexible, maintainable systems. One main advantage is that subclasses decide which concrete classes to instantiate, providing extensibility without modifying existing code. A potential drawback is increased complexity, as it introduces more classes and can be overkill for simpler applications. Best practices include defining clear interfaces for the product and creator, and using the pattern for multiple concrete products or complex creation logic. It's also beneficial when a library or framework needs to standardize object types its components create. Mastering the factory method pattern can significantly improve your software's design and maintainability.
Recapping day 4, we explored Singleton to control single instances with code and examples.
And factory patterns for abstracting object creation, including variations and real-world apps. The key takeaway: these creational patterns simplify and standardize object management in your architectures. Day 5 explores structural design patterns like adapter and composite for flexibility.
Homework. Try implementing Singleton or Factory in a small personal project. Questions from today? Comment. We'll respond. Thanks for joining. Like, share, and subscribe for more.